VIP check-in chaos. The space terminal at Orion Gate 7 was shining bright with lights and luxury. Giant glass walls showed a clear view of Earth's moon, floating far away. It was a place only the rich and powerful could enter. Ships came and went quietly, like silver birds flying in space. Ayla stepped into the terminal alone. She wore a sleek black coat, her hair tied back in a neat bun. In her hand was a rare digital access card made from titanium glass. It glowed faintly with her name and code. People glanced at her as she walked, some curious, some confused. She didn't carry a bodyguard, no assistants, just a calm walk and sharp eyes. She headed straight toward the VIP first-class check-in line. The line was short, only 3 people. At the front was a tall white woman with blonde curls and large sunglasses. Her designer bag had golden wings printed on it. Her name was Karen Matlock, and she noticed Ayla instantly. Karen turned and narrowed her eyes. "Excuse me," she said loudly. "This line is for first class only." Ayla didn't stop walking. "I know," she said simply. Karen stepped in front of her, arms wide like a gate. "No, you don't look like you belong here. This section is for VIPs. You probably want the economy line. Back there with the others." Other people turned to look. Some staff noticed the scene. Ayla kept calm and pulled out her card. "I'm a priority flyer," she said. "I have clearance for the private lounge." Karen scoffed. "That's fake. I've seen scams before. I'm calling security." Before Ayla could speak, 2 security guards rushed over, along with the check-in clerk. "Is there a problem here?" one asked. Karen pointed at Ayla. "Yes, she's trying to sneak into the VIP lounge with a fake card. I want her checked, now." The guards turned to Ayla, faces serious. "Ma'am, can we see your ID?" Ayla calmly handed the card over. One guard scanned it with a small handheld scanner. The scanner blinked, then buzzed with a red error screen. The guard frowned. This isn't reading properly. It might be fake." Karen folded her arms, smirking. "Told you, arrest her if you have to." Ayla stayed quiet for a moment, then looked the guard in the eye. "You don't know who I am," she said softly. The guard hesitated. But before anything more could happen, Karen took out her phone and started recording. "This is going online," she said proudly. "Another fraud trying to cheat the system. These people never learn." Ayla gave her a cold, tired look. More guards came. The terminal staff whispered behind their desks. A few travelers pulled out their phones too. "We'll need you to come with us," one guard said to Ayla. "Just for a few questions." Ayla didn't resist. As they led her toward a side room, Karen yelled after her, "Next time, dress like you have money." Ayla didn't turn around, but her eyes narrowed, and as she passed a glowing silver panel on the wall, the lights blinked twice, softly, like something hidden was watching. Behind the main check-in area, a camera moved on its own. A signal went up into the terminal's AI system. A message flashed across a secret screen. "Level 7 ID detected. Owner flag active. Observation mode engaged." But no one saw it. Not yet. The staff didn't know they had just insulted the real owner of the airline. And now, she was watching everything. The back room. Ayla was led down a long hallway behind the terminal gates. The hallway was cold, quiet, and made of smooth silver walls. The lights above flickered as if the building itself was holding its breath. 2 guards walked beside her. Neither of them said a word. They opened a thick steel door and pointed her inside. The room was small, just a table, 2 chairs, and a screen on the wall. A red light blinked in the corner. It was recording. Ayla sat down calmly, crossing her hands. One of the guards stayed behind while the other walked out. A few minutes passed. Then the door opened again. Karen walked in. "Oh," she said, acting surprised. "I didn't know they would let me watch." The guard looked unsure, but said nothing. Karen pulled out her phone and aimed it at Ayla. "This is for my blog. People love justice." Ayla didn't speak. Karen laughed. "Let me guess. You printed that ID card at home. Thought you could sneak into VIP with a fancy coat and straight posture." Ayla's face remained still, but inside, her mind was moving fast. She had built this airline from nothing. She had tested every security level, every staff member, every system. She knew the red light blinking in the corner wasn't just for recording. It was connected to the main AI brain of the airline. And now, it was watching. The door opened again. This time, the head of terminal security walked in, a short man with tired eyes and a badge marked Lieutenant Rovo. "Ms. Ayla, is that correct?" he asked. She nodded. "Your card shows errors. Can you tell me where you got it?" Ayla spoke clearly now. "It was issued by Central Command, Level 7 clearance. My name is Ayla Vance." Rovo paused. That name sounded familiar. He tried typing something into his tablet, but the system froze. His access was denied. "Strange," he mumbled. Karen rolled her eyes. "It's not strange. She's lying." Ayla leaned forward slightly. "I suggest you verify my name through your internal registry, not this old tablet." Rovo blinked. "You're very calm for someone being accused." "Because I've done nothing wrong," she said. "And soon you'll all find out." Karen laughed again, louder this time. "You're in trouble, sweetie. People like you always think you're smarter than the system. But guess what? You're not." Suddenly, the screen on the wall beeped. Everyone turned. A blue message appeared on the screen. "Clearance verified. Ayla Vance. Level 7 authority. Oneir ACCS." The guard stepped back. Karen's phone dropped from her hand. Rovo's mouth hung open. "Wait, what? Oh no." The light in the room changed from red to green. Ayla stood up slowly. "Yes, I started this airline. I built every ship, every system, every terminal, including this one." Karen looked pale. "That can't be true. You're just what?" Ayla asked quietly. Karen couldn't finish the sentence. A soft voice echoed through the speaker above them. "Welcome back, Ms. Vance. Recording complete. Staff behavior noted. Report sending to the board." Karen turned to the door, but 2 new guards were already standing there. Ayla walked past her, calm and strong. "Some people judge by clothes," she said as she passed Karen. "I judge by character." The doors closed behind her, and the back room went silent. Flight delay mystery. Ayla walked back through the private corridor with her shoulders tall and calm. The hidden cameras above followed her steps now, not as a suspect, but as the owner. Terminal workers stepped aside without knowing why. The system had silently flagged her status as top priority, do not interrupt. As Ayla returned to the main hall, she noticed something strange. The digital board over the VIP lounge now flashed. Flight HTDLAE. A4 CCUORET CHECK. Her personal ship, one she had secretly scheduled, was frozen. Ayla narrowed her eyes. She tapped her wrist comm, opening a secure voice line. "Next USAI report. Why is Flight Vega 9 on hold?" The AI responded instantly, its voice soft but robotic. "Ms. Vance, the flight was paused by a staff member at checkpoint 6. Reason listed. Suspicious passenger behavior." Ayla paused. "Who approved that?" "Request made by Supervisor Kent Yarrow. Temporary override was used. No proper code attached." That name, Kent Yarrow. He was one of the senior supervisors she had placed under silent review. A man with a fake smile and fast hands. Good at managing the team, but not always honest. She had warned the board about him months ago. And now, he had made his move. Ayla turned sharply and headed for checkpoint 6. Meanwhile, inside the staff security room, Supervisor Kent was laughing. He stood over a small table, drinking synth coffee, talking to 2 junior agents. "That woman. She might fool the system, but she won't fool me," he said confidently. "Probably hacked the scanner. People do it all the time." One agent looked unsure. "But sir, her file says she's Ayla Vance." Kent rolled his eyes. "Fake profile. They fake names, backgrounds, everything. Trust me, I've been here 10 years. I know the real VIPs." He didn't notice the small blue light glowing on the ceiling. Ayla was already watching through the camera feed. As she reached checkpoint 6, a tall security droid moved aside without question. Doors opened for her like magic. She walked straight up to the security room and knocked once. The door slid open. Kent turned and froze. "You," he said. "You're not allowed in this." "You stopped my ship?" Ayla interrupted. "Explain." Kent blinked, confused. I didn't know. You flagged me for suspicious behavior. You ignored verification. You paused a level 7 private ship." Ayla pulled out her comm and tapped it once. A holo recording appeared above them, all of Kent's conversation from a few minutes earlier. His own words echoed through the air. "She might fool the system. Fake profile." The two junior agents turned to him in shock. Kent's face turned red. "I didn't know you were." "That's the problem," Ayla said coldly. "You didn't care to know." Suddenly, the large screen behind her flashed red. A message appeared. "Immediate review. Supervisor Kent Yarrow, under internal investigation." Kent's security badge deactivated. The door behind him locked. The droid outside turned to face him. "Please remain still for questioning." Ayla looked at the two junior agents. "You're both cleared. Continue your work." They nodded quickly. As Ayla walked away, the hallway lights turned gold, showing full system recognition. She whispered into her comm. "Next US AI. Resume flight. And unlock my personal lounge." "Yes, Ms. Vance." Lounge prepared. She didn't look back. But inside she was thinking. This wasn't just about one rude Karen. It was something deeper. Some of her staff were hiding things. And soon, the entire airline would be tested. Hidden files in the lounge. Ayla stepped into her private lounge. The door slid shut behind her with a soft hiss. Inside, everything was silent. The lights glowed a soft gold. A curved glass wall showed the stars outside. The room had smooth silver walls, a velvet chair, and a clear table with a glowing touchscreen in the center. Only a few people in the galaxy had access to this room, and only one person knew its real secret. Ayla walked to the table and placed her palm on the surface. A blue light scanned her skin. Then a soft voice spoke. "Welcome, Ayla Vance. Do you wish to open the hidden directory?" She nodded. "Yes. Show me all unauthorized activities reported in the last 30 days. The screen flickered. Lines of data appeared. Hundreds of system logs. Most were small. Password resets, late shift reports, slow docking clearances. But one entry blinked red. Subject: flight schedule tampering. Origin: internal staff terminal. Ayla's eyes narrowed. Someone from her own team had accessed her ship's log before her flight today. They had tried to delay it before Karen ever made a scene at the gate. This wasn't just an accident. Someone knew she would be traveling. Someone wanted her stopped. She tapped the entry. More details opened. Name: Supervisor Kent Yarrow. Location: Staff Deck C7. Access level: temporarily boosted. Ayla froze. Kent again. "He didn't just judge me today," she whispered. "He planned this days ago." She pulled up the security camera feed from Deck C7. It showed Kent entering the terminal late at night, using a clearance he should not have had. He entered the control room, then inserted a small silver chip into the system. "What did you do, Kent?" she whispered. She tapped another button. The AI responded. "Tracking chip identified." It was attempting to reroute VIP ships, including yours, toward unauthorized refueling stops. Off record. Her face turned cold. "He wanted me off this flight, maybe even off the grid." Suddenly, the lounge lights dimmed. A security alert flashed on the glass wall. "Attempted access detected. Lounge perimeter breached." Ayla stood. The door hissed open, and there stood Karen. Her lipstick was smudged now. Her hands were shaking. Behind her stood another man. One of the old board members Ayla had once voted against. Mr. Dronic Val. He smiled. "Ayla, or should I say, Miss CEO." Ayla kept her voice calm. "How did you get past security?" Dronic held up a small cube. "Old code. Deep system. You forgot to clean the shadows when you took over. Karen stepped forward, voice trembling with anger. You embarrassed me. You made a fool out of me in front of everyone. Ayla didn't blink. You embarrassed yourself. Dronik interrupted. We're here to offer a deal. You step down quietly. Let someone else run things. In return, this stays quiet. Ayla smiled slightly. You think I didn't expect this? She snapped her fingers. The walls around the lounge shifted. Suddenly, Dronik and Karen were trapped in a glass chamber at the center of the room. The AI voice returned. Intruders identified. Recording in progress. Emergency alert sent to Central Command. Dronik slammed his fists against the glass. You can't do this. Ayla walked over and looked at them. You tried to frame me. You planted a tracking chip. You broke into my lounge. She turned away. And now, the galaxy will know who you really are. As she left the chamber behind her, her ship appeared outside the lounge window, its engines glowing, ready to fly. But Ayla knew this wasn't over yet. There was more rot inside her company, and she would find it all before it found her. A message from the shadows. Ayla stood on the bridge of her private ship, the Celestar 1. The engines hummed quietly as it floated above the terminal, lights blinking against the dark sky. Behind her, security bots escorted Karen and Dronik Val into a holding chamber. Ayla didn't look back. She was focused on the holo screen in front of her. Something still didn't make sense. Dronik had access. Kent had tampered with her flight. Karen had caused a scene. But none of them was smart enough to plan all of this alone. She opened a new voice channel. Next US AI. Scan Dronik Val's logs. Look for recent unknown contacts or off-network meetings. Seconds passed. Then the AI responded. One unusual activity found. Last night, Dronik received an encrypted call from a hidden satellite. Identity unknown. Encrypted message follows. Ayla stared at the screen as the message played. A deep, distorted voice spoke. Phase 1 complete. Keep her off the flight. Delay the reveal. More instructions soon. Then the message cut. Ayla's heart sank. Someone else is behind this. Suddenly, her screen flashed red. Incoming call. Anonymous channel. She accepted it. A hooded figure appeared, face hidden, voice masked. Miss Vance, the figure said, you're sharp, but not fast enough. Who are you? Ayla asked, standing straighter. Someone who should have inherited the skies. Someone your father removed from the board long ago. Her eyes widened slightly. You're one of the coast directors. The figure laughed coldly. Your little airline was built on secrets. You think your father told you everything? Ayla stepped closer to the screen. I know enough to stop people like you. Then stop this, the figure whispered. Suddenly, her ship lights flickered. Power dipped. Red lights blinked on the control panel. Warning, external virus detected. Lockdown initiated. They're hacking my ship, Ayla said under her breath. Let this be your final flight, Miss CEO. The figure hissed. Then the screen went dark. Inside the ship, emergency lights flashed. Power core unstable. Engines compromised. Manual control required. Ayla ran to the backup station. She slammed her hand on the override pad. Divert control to neural helm. Activate counter-virus. The ship responded. Counter-virus online. Restoring systems. Lights flickered. The ship's hum returned to normal. Ayla sighed, but it was not over. This wasn't a warning. It was a declaration of war. Someone from her past, her father's past, was coming back to take the company. And maybe more. She opened a message to her private board members. Begin internal purge. Lock down access. And bring me everything my father never told me. As the Celestar 1 rose back into orbit, Ayla knew one thing. She wasn't just defending an airline anymore. She was fighting to protect her legacy and expose a shadow war far bigger than she'd imagined. The truth revealed at 40,000 feet. The Celestar 1 soared high above the clouds, now calm again after the attack. Inside the main cabin, Ayla stood alone near the glass wall, watching the stars shine outside. Her eyes were cold, focused. She had just survived a silent cyber attack. But something deeper had been set in motion. This wasn't just about one jealous Karen or one greedy ex-board member. This was about her family, her name, her legacy. NEXUS, she said, turning to her AI assistant. Open my father's private archive, level Omega. The system paused, then responded. Voice verified. Archive unlocked. The holo table glowed. Thousands of files poured onto the screen. Secret logs, mission reports, board votes, and one strange folder titled Project Skychain, Never Activate. Ayla tapped it. What she saw made her breath catch. The Skychain wasn't just an airline system. It was a deep space defense grid designed by her father's company years ago. If activated, it could control satellite networks, shield cities, and even shut down other air fleets with one command. No wonder they want me gone, Ayla whispered. This isn't about money. This is about power. Suddenly, her personal comm line blinked again. It was a direct call from Supervisor Kent, the same man who had mocked her at the gate. She answered. His face appeared, ashamed, nervous. Miss Vance, he said softly. I didn't know who you were. I just followed orders. Whose orders, Kent? She asked sharply. Val. And someone else. They called him. That architect. I never saw his face. He promised me a promotion if I helped get you off the flight. You were willing to destroy my reputation for a raise. Kent looked down. They said you were a fake, that the company wasn't yours. I didn't believe it at first, but Ayla interrupted. Save it. You're going to testify. Publicly. Kent's eyes widened. You're going to expose them? No, Ayla said firmly. I'm going to erase them. Hours later, Ayla's ship docked with the Sky Command Tower, the central hub of her airline empire, floating above Earth's orbit. News feeds were already buzzing. Mysterious arrests at major airline. CEO Ayla Vance shocks galaxy with secret system reveal. Power struggle in the skies. Old board faces collapse. Karen's face flashed on screen, being arrested for assault, lying to security, and violating flight law. Dronic Val, stripped of rank. And the architect, still in the shadows, but now hunted. Inside the command tower, Ayla stood before her new board. She looked at each face, calm, strong. You all saw what happened. People inside our own walls tried to bring this company down. They judged me for how I look. They tried to erase my name. But they forgot something important. She stepped forward, voice rising. I'm not just the CEO. I'm the daughter of the man who built this from nothing. I earned this title, and I will protect it with everything I have. The room clapped. Some even stood. Outside the tower, a new fleet of Ayla's ships launched into the stars. Each ship was upgraded, protected, monitored by Skychain. And above them all, one message blinked across every galactic terminal.